Good morning, everybody. I'm here. This is Joe Mizzi. I'm the outgoing president of the Michigan Paint Horse Club. And I am here with Brent and Julie Harnish, the longtime breeders of Gentleman Sends Roses, and now their new stallion, Absolutely a Gentleman. Both those stallions are available in the Michigan Futurity program, Michigan Paint Horse Futurity program for the Fall Color Classic. And we wanted to give them a call today and talk to them a little bit about their two wonderful stallions. So first of all, Brent and Julie, I want to say good morning, and how are you guys?
We're just fine. Good morning to you, too.
We're good.
Big day in South Bend, eh?
Yeah, it is.
It's a big day for... You're not going to be able to hear me or get a hold of me later today. So for about 4 hours, I'm blocked out.
I don't blame you. I am too.
All right. So you've got the two stallions, Absolutely a Gentleman and Gentleman Sends Roses. Tell me a little bit about the breeding for both of those stallions.
Well, Gentleman Send Roses, we bought him as a weanling, and we bought him primarily because of his mother. He's got a great sire, Water Investments, Superior Western Pleasure horse, and then back in the day, HF Run for the Roses, his mother was absolutely an incredible mare.
Wasn't she she was a Helms Farm mare, right? Isn't that where she? Oh.
An own daughter of Skip Artist.
Yep.
Yes, sir. Yep. She was an 11-time world or reserve world champion, number one all-around horse, 2 different times, I think. And and I was always in love with her. And when the opportunity come to available to purchase, we call him Gus, we figured out a way to take advantage of it because I had a very strong belief that the older bloodlines, he does not have any Zippo pine bar on him, and he'd be a great outcross to all the Zippo horses. And having the mother that he had, we just knew that he would be or should have the potential to be a great sire, and fortunately it worked out. And then we keep trying to breed better individuals, and we finally raised one that we felt was quality enough to replace Gus. He won't replace Gus, but to follow in his dad's hoof steps, and that's how we got Absolutely a Gentleman, and he is out of a daughter of Kiss My Zippo.
Oh, sure.
He's out of a daughter of Absolute Investment.
Absolute Investment.
He's got another homozygous stored back that is out of a daughter of Kiss My Zippo that we'll be promoting here in a couple years.
Okay. All right. Good deal. That's cool. Well, Skip Artist was a pretty amazing horse. He was for a long time on the leading sires list, and he was
absolutely,
really important historical sire for the breed. Well, that's great. I mean, and you're right. That leads to one of my other questions. Can you tell me about the genetics of these two guys?
Well, the genetics is they're Tobianos. They're both homozygous. It's been somewhat selective. We looked at his genetics and his parentage, and that's what we look at when we cross or breed, especially our own mares. And Charlie, the younger horse, carries a lot of that same genetics, and we just feel that it's really strong, but it's not concentrated like some of the other horses that are full of the same breeding,
Sure.
A lot of line breeding. These are both pretty much outcrosses in the industry for a breeding program.
And I believe that Gus's mom is still on the top 10 leading list of youth Western pleasure horses.
Yeah.
I mean, she just is an outstanding mare, and we'll be the first to tell you our stallions can only do so much.
Yeah.
But we truly believe that any individual is 60 to 70% what you've bred the mom.
Yeah, I agree with you on that. That's I've certainly found that out over the years. They're both 5-panel negative on the DNA test, correct?
Yes, they are, and they're both lethal white negative.
Okay.
And they're homozygous for the Tobiano gene.
So no matter who you breed to, either one of them, you're going to get color, and you're
exactly.
Yeah, that's an important thing, especially as the paint breed tries to sort out what they're doing with the color and all of that. So
exactly. We said one day when we were sitting, it's been several years ago, we were talking about our mares, and I said, what is it like to sit back and know that we are guaranteed 7 paint fulls?
Right.
Not 4 paint fulls and 3 solids. There was one year we got all solids.
All solids.
Yeah.
And all solid stud colts. So that was like a more double whammy. So it's really fortunate when you do not have to worry about color.
Yeah, no, I've been down that road a couple of times.
We all have.
I know. One of the best horses I ever owned is my oldest mare. She's a Zippo Sensation mare. I always tell the story. She's a full sister to 5 world champions, and she might be the best one of the bunch. And she never got shown because back in the day they just didn't bother with the solid breds, And
no.
She's turned out to be a great brood mare, but and now she's a kid's horse. But she's just a wonderful producer and could have been a great show horse. But when you get a solid like that, it's a shame. And with your stallions, you don't have that problem.
Brood mares. Those solid mares have made some of our best brood mares. We've got a pasture full of them, and we couldn't have afforded to have bought them if they'd have had spots.
Yeah, no, that's right. That's exactly right. Well, and that's an opportunity for a breeder in working with you folks because they know that they'll be able to get a colored baby, which is great. What would you say are the most consistently passed on traits or characteristics of each stallion? What do they pass on to their progeny?
There's just lots of things. We can talk, for 2 hours on that, Joe. But I think, especially gentlemen syndromes, we only have a handful of babies up by the young horse, and he's yet to really determine. We're very, very encouraged by what we see from him. But on Gus, he stamps them. They're very consistent. They're pretty headed. They've got quality of movement. They're great minded. And when Julie and I was talking about this conversation last night, I was thinking back about all the other great studs. You look at Zippo Sensation, for instance. You could pick out every Zippo Sensation baby in the country. He had that consistent look,
right.
and Gentleman Syndroses has that same quality. He stamps his foals with quality, as I said, the pretty heads, the unique coloring, great minds, great dispositions, easy to work with, easy to train, all the things that I think are important, especially where we concentrate or focus on the youth and amateur market. I always wanted horses that would go on and do well for those horses. That is our business. It's not the future of our business. It is our business. Mm-hmm. And I'm very proud of the fact of what Gus's offspring have done for the youth and amateur horses. And I think that's probably one of his biggest attributes beyond conformation and appearance.
And they can show, and I've been around this long enough to see that they show in just about every class. I mean, I see gentlemen send roses in just about everything. So, he's very versatile. And I imagine the new horse is going to, absolutely a gentleman is going to end up being the same way. Because
absolutely the same way. We have kept, we just sold him, but we have a yearling colt here in the barn for one of the clients, and we don't handle our weanlings and yearlings a lot. We just get them halter broke and kind of make them a little bit gentle. And she bought him about 2 months ago, and he's doing the in-hand trail. The first day she tried to walk over a bridge with him, he just put his head down like, okay, no big deal. And, and he's, all the way back to the skip artist horses. The more you do with them, the happier they are. They want a full-time job. They don't want to be just a specialty horse. And I hope that Charlie continues that quality in him.
Sure, and he's out of you said an absolute investment mare, correct?
Correct.
Yeah, that's very nice, because then you bring in, you've got a lot of representation of the investor line, which I kind of like, because I think I own all the semen for Impulsion, so I like that line a lot, and there's a lot of crossing opportunities for people with your horses, and that leads me to my next question. If you've got a mare, what type of mare lines do you think would work the best on these stallions? You mentioned a few already, but just give me some ideas as people are looking for stallions for their mares.
The Zippo Pine Bar, Investor, and Invitation Only are the golden crosses. We could go down, Send Roses Please is out of a Zippo Pine Bar mare. Chipped in Roses is out of a Zips Chocolate Chip mare. We could just go down and tell you, but they are the golden crosses. And, but, we have found that we've bred thoroughbreds, had the Honorable Hunter Under Saddle horse out of a thoroughbred mare by Gus. So, if you've got a nice mare, you're going to get a nice foal. But if you really want those special ones, you want to go back to the, kind of like Gus, you want to go back to the old-time popular bloodlines back that are Zippo Pine Bar Investor or Invitation Only.
Yep. No, I agree. That you mentioned Chipped in Roses. I'll tell you a little story about him. So when he was a young horse, I was on a shopping trip. I was at the point where I was going to be eligible for the master's classes, and I wanted what I thought would be a good performer in the master's classes around the country that I could show all over the country. So we were looking, I was with my trainer at the time, and we went looking at him, and my trainer and the other trainer that had Chipped in Roses at the time didn't always get along or see eye to eye. But anyway, I got to ride him when he was a young horse. And when we got back in the car leaving the farm, I said, that's the horse I want to buy. And my trainer didn't want me to buy him. I said, geez, he's perfect. He does everything I want him to do. And he said, he's never going to amount to anything. Well, then he ended up winning all kinds of stuff. He won a couple world championships, maybe 4 or 5 of them, I don't know. And he won everything, so I should have bought him at the time. He was a wonderful horse. He really was a lot of fun. And I'm glad I got to ride him because he was really cool.
We've been fortunate. We've had a lot of good ones, but he was certainly one of the 5 best, no doubt about it.
Yeah. So as we wrap this up, is there anything else that you'd like to share about your stallions or about your program? You want to tell us what you have available for sale, or are there horses that you always have on the property that people can come and look at?
I would love to tell you what I have for sale on the farm, but I am for the last couple of years, we've been in a really unique position. We really don't have many left. I sell them as weanlings and yearlings. Whoa. I do have a beautiful bay and white stud colt. He's still a stud colt by Gus out of an RL Best of Sudden mare, and he's going to be really special. And that's about the only baby that I have available within. He's owned by one of our clients that we manage all of her mares. But we get wiped out.
Well, that's not a bad thing.
Not bad at all.
Yeah, no. Good for you.
I always offer to mare owners, they know that, when they decide that if they're breeding for just a prospect to sell, or if they're breeding for a show horse and then later on want to sell them, most of them give me a call, and I know where and how to sell the Gentleman Send Roses horses, and there's just a trickle of always coming back in. I know what's for sale. I can help you find what you're looking for, and I believe that the mare owners really appreciate that. I tell them that our job as the stallion owner does not stop when they receive the semen. It's to promote their foals. It's to help them sell them when they want to sell them. We have our program, you become a part of the Gentleman Sun Roses family.
Yeah.
And people really know each other and communicate with each other. And, we try to help out much more than just getting that beautiful colored foal on the ground.
Well, so what's the best way for people to reach out to you folks if they want to get in touch with you? Should they do it by Facebook, or should they message you, or what's the best way to reach you?
Well, which you probably already can tell, I'm always on Facebook.
Yeah.
So Facebook is a wonderful way to get a hold of me. But, my cell phone, which is 574-323-1978, or Brent's cell phone, which is 574-210-4028. We'd be happy to have a discussion with you about your mare, help you pick which one of the two studs would be a better complement to your mare. We also want to say that as you're thinking about this, what is basically going to get your mare pregnant is the product that you ship. And we're kind of proud of the fact that there are some